Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast, the first new episode of 2025. I just realized that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So here we go, bringing in the new year hot, right off the presses here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Mike Costanzo.
And we have topics in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news to get to. But before we get into all of that, as well as football coverage, because we got a whole bunch of football to talk about with Super Wild Card Weekend coming up. Mikey, how you doing? How's the new year treating you?
I'm doing good. The new year feels kind of like the old year, but so far
Sound
so
like
good.
the Who over there?
The Who?
Yeah, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's time. Just the eternal march of time is
Wow. All right, we're starting off heavy.
is unceasing.
What is time? Is time?
It's a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back to True Detective.
Yes.
Okay.
No. In all seriousness, the new year's been good so far. I've gotten some time to play one of the new games I got for Christmas, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I think I'm going to end up completing 2 massive RPGs before I complete Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my gosh.
Because I played, so last year I played Final Fantasy 16 while I was trying to play Baldur's Gate 3, and I got through Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3. This year, I'll probably play Dragon Age Veilguard. I still haven't made it through Act 2 of Baldur's Gate 3.
So
next year, I don't know what game I'll play next year. Then I'll play Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3.
all right,
This is too big of a game.
I'm gonna save you time. You're not finishing Baldur's
No,
Gate.
I'm probably not finishing it. I really want to. I really, really want to.
Because honestly, at this rate, I think you're better off starting your own solo playthrough and just starting over.
It's one of those things where,
I think that's your best course of action.
yeah, we started co-op, and I feel like I can't play without Jordan now.
Yeah.
And she's certainly not going to play without me. It's
so
just
you need to go rogue. You need to just go start solo.
just start my own playthrough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you have to. I think that's your only solution.
I might, yeah. But Dragon Age has been fun so far.
Well, that's good.
As opposed to Baldur's Gate 3. So Dragon Age is made by BioWare, who made Mass Effect.
Right.
And people were saying that this is BioWare's return to form. And I will say, just early on in the game, already it's got those classic character stories, those character moments. You go on little excursions with your teammates. So it really does feel like them getting back to their roots. Early on, I don't think it's as strong as Mass Effect, but you can definitely see where they're trying to get back to that style of storytelling. And they really nailed the gameplay at this point. The character movement, very fluid, the combat very, very fast, and it feels great to pull off all these big combos and stuff. So I really, really am liking the game so far, and it makes me very not super excited, but cautiously optimistic that whatever the next,
be ready for Mass Effect.
Yeah, whatever the next Mass Effect is going to be really good. So yeah, I've been doing that, and I also have started season 2 of Bad Sisters. Watched all of season 1 and started season 2. Have you seen Bad Sisters?
No, what's Bad Sisters?
For some reason, I feel like that'd be a show that Rachel would really dig.
Okay.
So it is a show about this group of 5 sisters. It's set in Ireland. And
that's why.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's also kind of like a little murder mystery thriller, and it is very Irish forward as well.
There you go. That's your answer.
That is the answer. But so this group of 5 sisters, without spoiling too much, they kind of collaborate to keep each other's secrets. And there's this whole plot of the 4 sisters are trying to help out one of the other ones deal with something. And I'm being intentionally vague because the first
you don't
season,
want to give something away.
Yeah, and the first season kind of goes back and forth for after the events of, there's a murder. I'm not going to say anything more than there's a murder, because it opens up with...
There's a moida.
Yeah, so somebody dies. And so the first season goes back and forth between the events leading up to it and the events after it.
There you go, drama.
It is. It's very dramatic. It's very dramatic. I'm really digging it. And it's one of those series where every episode it leaves you questioning what's going to happen next. So, if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. Although it's on Apple TV Plus, so I don't think you can.
Oh, that's why we don't do Apple TV.
That's why. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Boo, Apple.
They got really good shows.
It's funny. It's funny. So
they just had a free weekend. You just missed it.
We our local neighborhood, they have a I guess an Apple group text or something.
What?
There's something that the Apple, God, I sound so old. The Apple. There's something that the Apple does with like the local neighborhood, and it's easier to text.
I have no idea.
I don't know. There's something.
I'm part of the Apple ecosystem. Clearly,
there's some app or something that's programmed in Apple that it's easier to do like a group text or
with
something.
Like the area.
Yeah. So
I
all
don't
of the people in our neighborhood is on this Apple text.
Right.
And me and Rachel and our neighbors next to us, we are all anti-Apple. We are all Android. So it's like whenever we first off, we always hear secondhand whatever the plan is in the neighborhood for like a block party or a get together. We always hear it secondhand. It's never we're never involved in the direct chats. And then like the last time when they had a thing, it just happened to be that everyone couldn't go except me. I was free that weekend. So I attended, and I'm like, I'm representing the Android Alliance. Hi, how you guys doing? So, yeah, you damn Apple people, you're ruining it for everybody.
Or rather,
it's the other way around.
The other way around. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it depends on your point of view.
Well, I'm not going to get into that. I like my ecosystem. You like your ecosystem, and both have their pros and cons. But one of them has an Emmy Award-winning streaming service, and the other one does not. So
But I'm not paying money for it.
That's true. You're not, but you're missing out on some good shows.
Yeah. Oh well.
So.
I guess those are the lives we lead here on the Crispy
Those are the
Noodle
lives
podcast.
we lead, yes. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, Dragon Age and watching Bad Sisters.
Wait a minute, I just realized something.
What?
Is it green? What's the thing on the text that like the... did we match this up?
I mean, not intentionally, but yeah, Apple does the blue bubble.
So you have the blue bubble? Are you serious? Did you did this on purpose?
I did not do it on purpose because longtime viewers will know I used to have an orange mic cover.
Yes. But now you have a blue one.
Point the second, yes, I do have a blue mic cover.
You Apple fanboy over there. Even subconsciously, you are doing this to me.
Subconscious. Get out of here. What have you been up to this weekend, you dirty Android user?
Yeah. I played. I was playing a little bit of Outlaws that you gave me for Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's right. So how is it so far?
It's interesting. It's
Okay.
weird. So the whole thing is based on like what faction do you side with? Because there's different outlaw factions.
Okay, so like the Hutts versus the
Crimson Dawn versus the Pikes.
Okay. Oh, they were in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Weren't they? Oh, okay.
So
is there some like tie-ins and references?
There's some references to what the Pikes did and stuff.
Oh,
so it's cool. I'm only probably like maybe like a 15% of the way in. I'm not.
Okay, so still early.
So I want to reserve judgment.
Yeah.
But so far it's enjoyable.
Okay.
I don't know if the whole game is sustainable as just an outlaw, but we'll see. Maybe something happens down the. I don't know. I'm still early in the game.
Still early on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's been fun. I've been enjoying that. Here's something I want to bring up. Mentioning that this is our first podcast of 2025. How was your New Year's Eve night specifically?
How was my New Year's Eve night?
Yeah. Did you do anything?
I mean, we always get together at my aunt's house, and we play Italian bingo called Tombola.
Wow.
You were not expecting that.
No, I was
of
not.
All the things that you were expecting, you were not expecting that.
Okay.
Yes, that's a whole other...
I just walked right into that one.
That's a whole other side topic. But we usually get together at my aunt's house, and we do a family New Year's Eve.
Okay, all right.
And we play.
Wow.
Well, how is? I assume you didn't play tombola.
No, I didn't. I was.
Do you
just-
even know what
wow.
that? You gotta get. You got. I'm gonna get you a tombola set.
guess you're
You
gonna
should
have
play
to.
it. Yeah, it's fun. Anyway,
All right. Yeah, that was
so
not
why-
what I was expecting.
why do you bring that up?
No. All right. Well, you proved me wrong. All right.
Did you?
So me and
Why?
So the thing
What-
I was going to mention was, well, obviously Rachel wasn't feeling too good, so we decided not to do anything. And it kind of hit me that like the last couple of years, I don't really know anybody that's been doing anything big for New Year's Eve anymore.
Oh,
You know?
to be clear,
But you, I guess,
No, no,
you just thrown that out the window.
no. To be clear, this is not a big thing. Okay, like it's basically like family dinner and appetizers and like just.
But you still got together and watched the ball drop.
Yes, we get together. And then it hits midnight and everybody's like Happy New Year, and we have the little noisemakers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So I guess it is still
You still get together.
yes, it's still
Okay.
a thing, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're doing that. Cause
So you've been talking to people and they don't do things?
I don't know. I feel like there's been like a gradual waning on this, and I don't know if it's
It's the fact that we're 35,
right.
Rich.
Right. This is what I'm trying. This is what I was trying to open up with. Then you
Yeah.
threw me for a loop with Italian bingo.
Sorry.
Ding 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 ding. You got me on a loop.
Oh, man, you got to play it. It's good. It's good stuff.
So yeah, that was gonna be my debate. Like, is it a sign that we're getting old, or
Yes.
is it kind of a cultural thing? Because I do kind of feel like what's the generation after us?
Generation Z.
Z. I feel like they don't. I don't know. They're
they
not
don't wanna
crazy
go, They don't
about
wanna
it.
go out. Well, you know what the thing is? Our generation was marked by like I mean, I don't know. It seems like our generation there was a lot of like partying.
Yes.
And younger generations.
Yeah, you guys don't know how to party.
No, I mean, listen, I honestly I prefer it this way because I've always been kind of an old soul. The younger generation, I guess, are old souls too. But what it was the pandemic. Is there was like a solid
Yeah.
2 years where people did nothing, and then people realized, oh my God, it's way better to sit at home in my pajamas, eat whatever random takeout I get, and go to bed at 12:01
Yeah.
instead of hanging out till like.
But does that hurt the holiday?
I mean, I guess a
'Cause-
larger question is it a holiday that really matters?
Right. So here's what I was. So really, to really like tie this into everything. There was a top 5 beatdown that I saw from Watcher where they did top 5 holidays, and I used to put New Year's, I don't know, whatever, just the New Year's in that, but I don't know. I think it might be off my top 5 list. I don't know.
I can only think of 5 What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wait, it's Christmas, obviously. 1.
I mean, I would hope. I don't know. Some people
Thanksgiving 2.
Some people don't.
Halloween 3.
Some people do.
What else is there? New Year's Eve has to be up there somewhere.
People do 4th of July. People do Easter.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
people do
okay, all right,
Memorial
all right,
Day,
all right.
Labor Day.
No. Memorial Day and Labor Day are not holidays. They're an excuse to have hot dogs and hamburgers on a Monday.
Yeah, but some people count that as holidays.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Well,
It's not a holiday. Do you go to the store and they're like, oh, happy Memorial Day. Here's the Memorial Day decoration. No, it's just generic.
they give you sales.
Okay, they give you sales for President's Day.
I could count. That could be a
They
holiday.
give you sales for They give you Super Bowl sales. They give you sales for everything. It's not a holiday.
See that
This has got me fired up.
Soon, President's Day will be one of your favorite holidays because Roger Goodell, in 10 years, he's going to make Super Bowl Sunday land on that weekend so that everyone gets that Monday off, and then it is going to be like a freaking national holiday.
That would be great. Going back to being old, having the off the day after the Super Bowl would be absolutely essential.
It's going to happen. I'm telling you.
And it's not because I'm like going out and partying and drinking. It's like just because I'm old and I'm tired.
I'm telling you, that's going to be another benefit to the extra game. The Super Bowl will be moved.
I fully support that.
It'll be moved another week, and that'll be President's Day weekend.
I fully support that.
So I'm telling you right now, make sure you open up a spot in your top 5 holiday list. President's Day is coming up. It's gonna be entering on your list.
Top 5?
Yep. When you mix that with Super Bowl, oh yeah, that's a top.
Top 5?
If you get the day after Super Bowl off, that's not a top 5 holiday for you. Come on, I know you, Michael Costanzo. I know you.
I mean, it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I forgot about Easter solely for the food, not for the religiosity. my birthday's over the 4th of July. I can't not put 4th of July on there. That's fine.
I'm telling you right now.
It may be a close 6th.
Not yet, but when that happens, get that off of the list.
Oh, man. I will say, though, this is a compelling argument for kicking New Year's off the list.
Yeah, this is my this actually was my thesis statement. It was a really roundabout way that I was not
you should
expecting
just devote
to
the
get there.
rest of the show to debating holidays, because
Yeah.
I could do a full hour on that.
Well,
but
Top 5 did on Watcher.com if you want to check out Watcher.
Yeah.
That's one
but
of their shows.
yeah, New Year's Eve, to go back to your point about it being a cultural and generational shift, I 100% agree that I think that younger generations just don't care about it that much, and that our generation is getting to that age where we're valuing like ordering in Domino's and sitting around in our pajamas.
Yes.
You know, like I'm at that point.
All right, we need to leave it there. I
Yeah.
spent too much time on this. We're way late now.
No, we did. And
Whoops.
you talked about the football seasons. That's a great segue into our first topic of the show. It's, of course, time to get into the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports.
In your face. Ha ha!
That's right. Sports in your face, but more particularly, it's football. The end of the football season has happened. We have concluded the regular season. How about we just breeze right through the Eagles game, because that was the closure for the Philadelphia Eagles for the regular season. They put in all their backups, and yet they still knocked off the Giants 20-13 with all their backups.
Yep. Boy, Tanner McKee making a strong case to
Yeah.
be the starter heading into the... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
This is not WIP.
I like
but
Tanner McKee, though. He did pretty good.
I did like Tanner McKee. The backup showed a lot of talent out there, and it just goes to show the depth of this roster. You know, that we can go out there. I know it was the Giants, but still, you got a whole bunch of second and third stringers going up against their, for lack of a better term, best of the best. I mean, they're 3-14. You can't sit
Yeah.
here and tell me that they're good. Like, they have a few talented pieces, but the point being that we put up our preseason guys, and we still managed to eke out a win against a division rival late in the season, and that's still something to be lauded, right? The one downside, of course, to the whole victory is the fact that Saquon Barkley didn't get to go for the record. I know there's a lot of debate on it. Should they play him? Should they not play him? This or that. I know what you're going to say, that the guy from Green Bay got the injury, and that's what you want to avoid. And you're absolutely right. You don't want to... What?
I don't care.
What, about the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about this record. I don't care. And it's going to get blown away anyway whenever they move to an 18-game season. So stop
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
it wasn't worth it. Let him rest and just enjoy the first wild card game.
the thing...
I would rather this was a YouTube comment. I would rather have him get 150 yards in the postseason than in a meaningless Week 18 game. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, so I was of the mind that I didn't mind letting him go for it if he wanted to go for it. I said on the podcast, if he wanted to go for it, that let him play a quarter or even a half, see if he can get it, and then yank the starters. Because I was also kind of hemming and hawing about not letting our guys get too cooled off. You want to keep the energy, keep the pressure up going into the playoffs. There's been some talk recently about that bye week negatively affecting some teams in baseball. They had that happen.
Oh,
a few
now in
times.
college football.
And in college football, yeah. So part of me was like, treat it like a preseason game, keep them in for like a quarter or two. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with the decision because we're going in with, knock on wood, completely healthy roster. While I would have liked them to still get some, extra practice and keep the gears moving, I like having a healthy roster more. And the fact of the matter is, with the record, is that Saquon could have broken it like 2 weeks ago if they hadn't pulled him like in the third quarter in a handful of games this year too. There were multiple opportunities for him to get those yards. The famous clip of him early in the season where Nick Sirianni asks, do you want to go out there and get your personal best for yards in a game? He goes, nah, let the young guys eat. He had opportunities.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Worry about the playoffs now.
I've heard him talking about how he now has his eyes set on total yards season and postseason combined. And I think go for that one.
How about this? Go for a ring. How
I
about
mean,
that? I want that.
The odds of a ring are very low. The odds of a record
No,
are
they're not. I don't know why
It's like 17% chance.
That's look. Most 20 other teams would be dying to have this chance. I don't understand. My brother-in-law's like this too. He's like, oh, they're not going to do much. What? Where's this coming from? They're the number 2 seed. They have a chance to make a Super Bowl run if they do the right things. I don't understand. There's like a weird, like, self-fulfilling prophecy that people think they're going to choke in, like, the divisional round.
It's because you can't get your hopes up too high, Rich. Rich, we've been down this road before.
There's a difference between that.
You're a Philadelphia fan.
There's a difference between that and then just like actively like poo-pooing things. And I just feel like people are.
No. I'm not poo-pooing things, but I am.
These WIP callers.
What are the WIP callers saying?
Start Tanner McKee. Like, let's see if he's good. Like, what? No.
No. Do not start Tanner McKee. That's absurd.
No. I'm expecting the Eagles to have a relatively good playoff run here. I think I like the feeling.
I was looking at the bracket and see, this is where I got worried. I don't want to say anything that's going to jinx them because I believe in that kind of crap. But they have a favorable path.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at the matchups, and if we make it past the first round, we're going to catch either the Rams or the oh my god, why am I completely forgetting all the teams now?
Buccaneers or Commanders.
No, the Bucks or the Rams.
Wait, the Rams are the 4 seed. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. So if we make it past this round, we're going to get the Bucks or the Rams most likely. So that's a pretty favorable matchup, right?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we'll get into it with the Super 6 picks coming up. But I just think it's weird. I just feel like there's like a weird, like, I don't know, people have like this like weird like I get like, yeah, you don't want to be disappointed, but don't poo-poo this.
You got to protect yourself.
Don't.
You got to build up those walls, Rich.
Don't poo-poo this. I think the Eagles have a pretty good shot of going on a good playoff run here.
Yeah, no, definitely not poo-pooing it.
How about this? Let's focus on the teams that wish they were the Eagles, because I guarantee you all these teams that are on Black Monday watch, they wish they were in our spot. So let's take this list over.
You are fired up, yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Crack one little joke and Rich goes off the handle,
you
man.
Damn Apple person over there.
We didn't bring Apple back into it. What did Apple have to do with it?
The Apple.
The Apple.
I can't believe I said that. I'm old.
You don't like New Year's Eve because you're 65 years old.
Yes. I've just sped right to 65. Yes.
You got on the turnpike straight to 65.
Yes.
But some other guys are heading straight out the door. Black Monday in the NFL is the day where all the head coaches get fired, and the axe fell for some big names, most notably Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson getting canned after 3 seasons. The Jags say it's not an overhaul. They're keeping the GM. Rich, initial reactions to Doug Peterson getting the axe in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he just never really was a right fit there. I mean, his best season I think was a 9-7 season, 9-8 season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think he also finished like losing 18 out of his last 25 games as a head coach. Like, no matter how good you were or how good you think you are,
and it's tough.
Those results aren't going to keep you around.
And it's tough because he got his guy, right? They had Trevor Lawrence, right?
You would think you'd be able to work with him.
The franchise QB, but it just never came to fruition. I don't know whether it was just struggling to build the roster, struggling with the game plan.
I hate to say this, but is Doug Peterson a little bit of a fraud?
Potentially.
Because, I mean, it really...
Well, he brought some of the Eagles staff to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So are those same guys kind of dragging him down? Or was it really just Frank Reich those early seasons with the Eagles?
Maybe.
But you just think Frank Reich didn't do anything when he became a head coach.
Right.
So you can't be like, oh, it was all Frank Reich, because he also sucked on his own. You know?
It's a case of a whole bunch of good coordinators, but nobody was a true head coach?
I think that's what it's looking like. That year that we won the Super Bowl, it was a perfect storm. It was great inspirational head coach, good OC, good DC, solid depth and weapons. It was just the perfect storm, right? I think as you slowly remove those pieces, it's apparent that they were greater than the sum of their parts. Like Doug Peterson is not a great coach on his own. Frank Wright is not a great coordinator on his own. Carson Wentz is clearly not a good quarterback on his own.
Not anymore.
So it really was just like a whole bunch of like above average people coming together to create this momentum. And I mean, nothing showcases that better than Doug Peterson's early departure from Jacksonville.
Yeah, he just never really got a good footing, it seemed like.
Yeah. And it's not like that division was particularly strong. Like they had opportunities to do something special in that division.
That's the worrisome part about this. That division is not good.
They're one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, so
Forget
for
not
you,
good. Yeah,
I think his record was like 22-27. For him to only have like that, for him having a sub 500 record, that doesn't sound good in a division that was easily winnable.
Yeah, no, it was just not meant to be. I'm trying to find his win-loss record with Wikipedia. You suck. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me get to some other names here.
Here we go. I have 22-29.
22-29. Yeah, that's not good.
That's a sub 500 record.
That's not good for a division that has really been just in the dumps. I think they're consistently like one of the worst divisions in the league.
I mean, he came in that first year, and I'm looking back now on the stats, went 9-8, and that was good enough to win. That was good enough to win the AFC South.
That's the best. Yeah.
That tells you the quality of that division.
Yep. All right. Some other names that got let go. Antonio Pierce. I think he was the interim, and then he became the head coach. So I don't know.
When he was the interim head coach, it seemed like players liked him. Like they were willing to play for him.
So I don't know if you can really count that as one and done. I know officially it is technically, but like he had some some precedence.
Yeah.
The true one and done here is Jared Mayo for the Patriots, which is not a very Patriots-like thing to happen.
No, and honestly, I've always felt like 1 year is not enough for a head coach.
It depends on how bad the team gets.
Well, okay. I mean, fair. The Patriots were one of the worst in the league, but also they got to go up against the Buffalo Bills twice. Miami's, they didn't have a great record, but they're not a pushover. They have a lot of offensive weapons. You have a new coach, new quarterback. 1 year, you got to give them a chance to build on something before you can the guy. At least I've always thought at least 2 seasons. See if there's growth before you fire a coach.
Well,
right?
maybe there was some, dysfunction behind the scenes that we didn't see.
Yeah, and to be clear, I didn't watch any Patriots games, so I don't know.
Think anybody did.
I don't even think Patriots fans watched them.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
They became Chiefs fans now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Who's the next hot team that they can jump on the bandwagon for?
Yeah.
So I don't know what their actual games were like, whether Gerard Mayo was like doing good stuff and it was just like happenstance that they lost some games or just, they didn't have the right pieces. But whatever it may be, gone after 1 season. It does raise the question, though, this is maybe a little conspiracy theorist, but do you think that they would have kept him on if he had lost the final game to get the number 1 overall pick? Or do you think this firing was like, you can't even follow marching orders, you're done?
It's very similar to Lovie Smith.
Yeah.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. He was supposed to lose the last game of the season. And instead they ended up winning. And
these coaches and their moral victories. I mean, what do you think? Do you think there may have been a call inside the building like, hey, there's no reason to win this game. We can get the number 1.
I hate to say this, but
I feel like there's a lot of front offices.
If there's another minority coach that does this, and they get fired, the NFL is going to have an issue to look at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, certainly.
Because it does seem like the minority coaches are being held to a different standard.
Who was the guy? Didn't that happen to somebody in Miami as well?
Brian Flores.
Didn't a similar thing? Or am I misremembering?
No, but he had the lawsuit that he brought up saying that he was treated different. Oh, no. He was asked to have a bad season.
Yeah, so it was a similar thing.
It wasn't like specifically a game.
Right.
He was asked specifically
the whole season. Yeah,
to tank.
But I think there's already an issue there. Just nobody wants to admit it.
Yeah. So
It's pretty like, come on now. I have the feeling like they were really excited about Gerard Mayo, former player, well respected, yada yada yada. Comes in, they struggle, but we knew they were going to struggle.
yeah.
Like nobody was going into the
No.
season. Oh, they're going 10-7. They're going to. Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
No.
So they struggle, obviously. And he wins the last game, and then he gets canned. It's
Yeah.
just very odd to me.
Yep.
Is all I'm saying.
Speaking of odd thoughts, how about Rex Ryan making the case he wants to go back as the HC of NYJ?
Sure, why not? It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
People like Rex Ryan for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And like, it's just,
More on that
that's it.
statement.
No, that's the whole statement. I just don't know why.
I don't know why people like Rex Ryan. I don't know. I guess just people love his, his bravado.
Yeah, he's like that old school, like rough and tumble. Like I don't take any BS from anybody. If he comes back as head coach of the Jets, how's he going to mesh with Rodgers? Though that's the big elephant in the room. People are like, oh, he'll whip him into shape. Like, are you really going to whip a 45-year-old into shape?
Yeah.
Like he's set in his ways.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need somebody to whip him into shape. That doesn't sound.
It's going to be weird,
Yeah.
right? If Rex Ryan comes in and he's like, oh, you better behave yourself, little boy. Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm like 10 years younger than you. Go away.
I'm
Like,
not that old. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not that
it's-
young. Yeah.
I'm
don't know.
exaggerating, of course, but the vibe I think would be weird.
Yeah,
and the
I don't
Jets have already
understand.
let Aaron Rodgers get away with too much. Bringing in Rex Ryan, you're not going to right the ship just by bringing in some old fuddy-duddy from your past,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a weird scenario. I don't
Which means
understand
it'll
it.
happen.
Dear God, you're probably right.
100% will happen. But something else that we have to be concerned about, right here in our own backyard, the New Orleans Saints have requested a head coaching interview with our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. Why does this always happen to us? It's the price of being good, but I mean, would you be concerned? Are you concerned that this is, happening again for the
Yeah.
third season in a row?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts just can't get like a steady offensive coordinator to help him.
Yeah, and we finally hit our stride, found our rhythm, and then now my concern is distraction during the playoffs. I hate that the NFL allows this to happen for
during the
coaches to interview
playoffs.
during the playoffs. Like, there's more than enough time. The playoffs only last
A month.
5-6 weeks at the most.
How do you handle the Super Bowl? Because there's like a
Okay.
break week and then Super Bowl.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But 12 of the 14 teams are not going to make it to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
there's more than enough time to interview and get your guy in. And
It should be when you're eliminated.
Yes.
When you're
Yeah.
eliminated, all right, then you can talk to the coaches and
That is a fair compromise, I think. You can talk to the coaches as soon as the team gets eliminated. I don't want the distraction.
yeah, I agree.
But does this also... Is it safe to assume that Nick Sirianni is back next year and that the whole rumor before the season that
I mean, unless
Kellen Moore was the head coach heir apparent?
unless the Packers come out and stomp the Eagles in Philadelphia, I think Nick Sirianni's fine for another year.
Like, he was firmly on the hot seat, and,
Yes.
he just dumped a bucket of ice water.
Well, that's what happens when you win
Yeah.
10 games in a row. Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, it seemed like at the time Kellen Moore was being brought in because everybody assumed 5 games into the season Nick Sirianni's going to be gone and Kellen Moore's going to step up. That was the rumor.
Yeah, that's right.
So not happening. 100%.
I don't think
Not
so.
happening.
Unless they
Unless something absolutely wild happens.
right, they
Yeah.
get shut out or something. I don't know. It'd have to be something horrible
I would love
on Sunday.
I would love for Kellen Moore to stick around, though. He really turned things around, got us back to that ground and pound type of offense that helped us win that first Super Bowl.
Yep. Well, let's we're dancing around predictions, so let's officially do it. We got 6 games for the Super Wild Card Weekend, so let's get into all 6 Super 6 picks coming your way. What do you want to start off with first, Mike?
All right, first up, we're starting with the first game of the playoffs. A couple of young guns, Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers, traveling to Houston to take on What's his name? C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Boy, that's not that's not looking good for the Texans. Rich, who do you like in this one?
I am doing a dance because this is my official pick of the wild card weekend. I am putting money on the Chargers. I love the Chargers coming into this game. The Texans, it's already not a good sign. You can't remember the quarterback's name. But the really bad sign with the Texans is their offensive line is just they're being held up by duct tape. They are just allowing all this pressure to get to C.J. Stroud. And although they made the playoffs, they have not looked strong as they did last year. And on the flip side, the Chargers are 10-2 against the spread this season. They have been a team to make money off of.
Ooh.
And the point spread is only 2.5. That's almost a pick 'em. I'm going Chargers all the way. It is my pick of the week. I think this is a smart pick. This is the way to go this weekend.
Yeah, well, how about the fact that the Chargers are coming into the playoffs winning 3 straight, 2 against division rivals. Meanwhile, the Texans limping to the finish, losing 2 of their last 3, and barely squeaking into the playoffs in one of the worst divisions in football. Even though they get the home game, I think the Chargers are just a better team overall. I think that they had a much harder division to play in. I mean, that goes without saying, playing against 2 other playoff teams 4 times compared to the Houston Texans playing against Pop Warner squads down there in the AFC South. So, yeah, I'm going with the Chargers as well. Easy peasy. Next up, we have a playoff division game. The Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. This is a Saturday prime time matchup. Rich, who do you like in this one? A division rivalry meeting up again for the second time in under a month?
Yeah,
Who do you like?
The Steelers are limping here. They had a really atrocious back half of the season, and it has shown. They have just lost game after game the past couple of weeks, and it just hasn't even been pretty to look at. The team just has just seemed flat the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. You want momentum going into the playoffs. They have the exact opposite of that. Loss at Eagles, at Baltimore, against Kansas City, against Cincinnati. 2 division losses in the last couple of weeks. That's not good.
Yeah. Whereas the Ravens, they've been turning it on. Lamar Jackson has been having an MVP season yet again. The point spread on this is 9.5. That says all you need to know on a playoff game.
That's a lot.
It's Ravens all the way. There's no chance. I really don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ravens too, even though I notably do not trust the Ravens in the playoffs. They're usually good for at least a game or 2. So I think they'll get this wild card game. And then when they have to play real teams, they may be a little bit shakier. But as of right now, Ravens all the way. Next up, though, we got a nice little playoff surprise. The Denver Broncos, of all teams, with Sean Payton, a head coach who we thought was on his way out, and rookie Bo Nix traveling to Buffalo to face off against the feared Josh Allen and that Buffalo Bills defense. Rich, who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, the Broncos are a very interesting story. This was a team that was supposed to be rebuilding this year, especially with them still paying Russell Wilson's salary this year.
Yeah.
Great story. I'm sure they're feeling good that they made the playoffs, but I think this is where the magic ends because the Buffalo Bills are not playing around. This is their chance to make a playoff run as well. And the Bills,
The Bills,
the
Bills are right up there with the Chiefs
Yes.
in terms of playoffs the past few years. You cannot write them off. You
Yeah.
just can't. Offense, defense, they're just firing on all cylinders. Let's also talk about how the Broncos probably would not have made the playoffs if Kansas City didn't completely throw that game 38-0. I mean, not even a single point.
Well, that could be Carson Wentz.
Another story for another time. But I think it's safe to assume that we're both going Buffalo. We've been Buffalo fans the past couple of years.
And again, Vegas has made their case known. The point spread there, 8.5.
Oof.
For a playoff game, that says volumes.
Again, more than a touchdown. That's not good.
That says volumes. So go Buffalo.
Well, next up, we have a potential Rookie of the Year. Washington Commanders and the phenomenal Jaden Daniels traveling to Tampa Bay to face off against the Buccaneers. Rich, who do you like in this one? This is a tough one.
It is, but I'm just going to go. I hate to be so anti-rookie, but it is so difficult to win a playoff game, especially if you're a rookie. The playoffs are a whole new level of competition. Everyone is throwing the kitchen sink at you because it is do or die. And I don't know. I just think the experience factor will be important here. Baker Mayfield has been in this situation before. He's going to be calm and cool about it. They're going to be at home as well. I think you got to give the edge to Tampa Bay. I think the Washington story ends here.
Oh, man. This is actually the toughest game so far because on paper, Tampa Bay has one of the most electric offenses, but they also play in a relatively weak division. Washington playing in the NFC East, going up against the Eagles, at least. The other teams are questionable. But still managing a 12-5 record with a rookie, with a rebuild. There's something special going on in Washington, and while I don't want a division rival progressing much further into the playoffs, I think they're going to ride that high through this wild card. This is going to be one of those upsets, one of those rare upsets where I think that the two teams are close enough that the X factor of Jaden Daniels and not, experience cuts two ways. Yes, there's the nerves, there's the inexperience, but also, yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers might not know what to expect with Jaden Daniels. It brings a certain, question mark, variability to it. So I'm taking a leap of faith here, and I'm taking the underdog Commanders in this matchup.
You are picking the upset because Tampa Bay is favored by 3 here. So,
yeah, but pretty close still.
Yeah,
that's just the home field advantage right there.
True.
So it'll be an exciting game, though, I think. Next up, though, probably one of the most exciting games. Some unlikely heroes and also falling to the 5th seed, the Minnesota Vikings, traveling to L.A. to face off against the Rams. Rich, what a heartbreaker that the 14-3 Vikings have to go on the road across the country to play in L.A., a town that doesn't even like football. I'm not wrong, though. I'm not wrong. Who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be hard to call as Vegas has made this a pick'em. So that tells you where both of these teams stand. I'm going to root for the Vikings. I really hope that Week 18 loss doesn't doom their postseason run. The Rams, I think, are beatable. Matthew Stafford hasn't looked all that great coming down the stretch in this season. And Cooper Kupp has not been the former dominant wide receiver that he used to be. So I'm hoping that the Minnesota Vikings can take advantage of that and get pressure on Stafford and pull out a win here.
So let's just get one thing straight. If Minnesota was in almost any other division, they would have won the division. They would be the number 1 seed. They played in the hardest division, full stop. The Lions, 15-1. Green Bay was the 3rd best team at 11-6, better than most other playoff teams. And they're the 7th seed. So Minnesota is a very talented football team to hang with those other teams and best them several times. And yes, they had that just utterly awful Week 18 collapse. But before that, they were reeling off wins against tough opponents, Green Bay, Seattle. It goes on and on. I like Minnesota here. They would have been a number 1 or number 2 seed in any other division in any other year. So I like them against LA here.
Are you worried about any sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say depression, but any sort of just falling flat because of the loss? I mean, that does hurt morale that they got spanked.
It can go one of two ways. It can cause a team to fall apart, like you suggest. I've also seen teams where they have a bad loss, they turn around, they just absolutely just wallop the next team as kind of like a
boomerang.
Just punch the next guy in line to make yourself feel better. So it could go either way. I don't know. I like the Vikings though, but weirdly the music is fading out. We usually don't go this long in this segment.
Well, it's because there's 6 games, yeah.
Stupid NFL packing in the games. But, of course, we saved the best for last. It's our very own hometown team, the Philadelphia Eagles, hosting the Green Bay Packers, who I just mentioned, probably would have been better in other divisions at 11-6, Rich. How worried are you about going up against the Packers, kind of full circle, playing against the Packers at the end here after we open the season with them in Brazil?
I mean, I'm fine. I'm going Eagles. I feel confident in them. I mean, as long as they don't do anything drastically different, they really should be able to handle the Packers. And the Packers just lost.
Well, Jordan Love got banged up.
Yes, but he's going to play.
Christian Watson
done. Yeah.
Done. Just straight up done.
Their top wide receivers out, so that helps the defense.
Yeah.
So I don't really see too many concerns. I think this is a very winnable game for the Eagles.
Yeah, I alluded to it earlier when I said the Eagles have a favorable path to the Super Bowl, of course, barring Detroit. And I think this is the first step here is a relatively winnable game against the Packers. We beat them once earlier in the season when we were really, really new and raw. And, there were a lot of question marks those first several weeks of the season. We were like, oh, my God, it's last season all over again. Complete 180 from that point. Green Bay also, you want to talk about momentum going into the playoffs. I think momentum is important. The Eagles won their last 2. Green Bay lost their last 2. Injured players in those losses. So, yeah, I don't want to say it's going to be easy, but it's a very doable win.
I'm fairly confident in the Eagles. The point spread 4.5, I'm a little leery to take that on, so I wouldn't place money on it. But I think the Eagles take this win and they move on. I'm not too concerned.
I don't see any reason to think otherwise.
Yeah, but we shall see.
Yep.
That is our Super 6 picks. There you go. All 6 games.
Oh, that was a lot.
Yeah. A lot of predictions that we had to cover there. So we got to take a break here and regroup so that we can get you the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we come back from the break. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis Now, get your hands over there.
Well, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess get him in the car.
One cup, look. Live and bright.
Ta-ta and farewell. That's what we said to 2024 last week because of the new year.
I said, get the hell out of here. No.
Yeah. You get the hell out of here. You've been a wacky... You've caused too much chaos 2024. You get out of here.
You know, you made the point before the show that back in 2019, we said, what did I say? Everything is crazy, nothing makes sense or something like that.
You said nothing makes sense anymore. It's 2019.
Yeah, 2019, nothing makes sense anymore. And it hasn't made sense since that point.
Yeah, I think
I don't
it's
know
gotten progressively worse.
Yeah.
I think you've introduced some sort of virus.
Don't say that.
Oh, jeez. Whatever.
Because in modern society, it's a thing now.
Oh, my gosh. Whatever. It's a joke.
There was a whole pandemic. There's another one now. There's bird flu. Somebody died of bird flu.
So
how do you catch bird flu?
Yeah, how does that happen?
I assume it's like other viruses.
Do you like pet a bird and you get sick?
People should not be petting birds. One.
Oh yeah, you know that the hard way.
Everybody knows. Everybody on this podcast knows that I do not like birds. I don't mess with birds. Like, they're fine from a distance. I'm like, oh, very majestic. But if it's closer than like 20 feet to me,
yeah, no thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not about that.
Okay. So do people that get bird flu deserve it then, in your opinion?
I don't know if I'm going to go that far. But I don't even know how you get it. I guess it's transmissible between humans now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, this is not a science podcast.
No, we are not scientists. We're not doctors. Please do not take any recommendations on that front.
Consult your physician about
Yes.
your health. Don't listen to
Please.
us, please.
We are not that smart. We have a Christmas tree in the background. We are not smart.
Even though it is no longer Christmas. This is up well before Christmas and now well after Christmas. And I guarantee you it may still be there next week.
Why not?
Anyway.
I'll tell you what, I don't mind.
It's hard taking down all this crap.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting a little bit on the Christmas decorations. I think that's fine.
I generally like it. It's nice. It brings a certain amount.
I don't understand the people that like December 26th. Time to take everything down. Like, no.
If you talk to my mom, she's very adamant that the 12 days of Christmas, according to us Italians, starts on Christmas and then it goes 12 days until January 6th, when apparently the wise men, the three,
is it the Epiphany?
The Epiphany, yeah, the three kings or whatever.
Yeah.
It took them 12 days to find.
Yeah, they don't sound that smart.
No, they're not that wise. They're stumbling out in the desert. I don't know.
Yeah, it was actually three wise guys.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
That's why.
And they were just too wise. They were just too much of a wise guys. They couldn't stop and ask for directions.
Right.
I just would have used a GPS.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
Why didn't Jesus think of that?
Come on, Jesus! Drop a pin on Google Maps. Let's go. God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Just letting your boys just stumble around.
Yeah. He didn't help his boys.
And like, what did he get out of it? Frankincense, myrrh? I mean, I guess gold.
Hey, don't you knock myrrh. All the ladies love myrrh.
What even is? You're saying myrrh? Like
myrrh.
What is it?
Isn't that like a sweet smelling fragrance?
I thought that was frankincense.
I thought it was myrrh. Am I getting them all mixed up?
I don't know. I don't even.
We
know
are
how to
not
spell
wise
myrrh.
men here.
No, we're not. We're wise guys.
Yeah, sorry. That's the best we can do.
Anyway, we still got more show to get to.
So let's launch into the second part of our show, the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
celebrities,
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
and more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, we are officially in entertainment entree territory. You have an update?
On the Myrrh.
Oh,
yes.
the Myrrh. Was I wrong?
No, you were right.
Oh, I was right.
So, well, hold on, but it goes deeper than that. So,
oh no.
So myrrh is an anointing oil, but
And it smells good.
But hold on, it's used in embalming, and it is a symbol of death.
Whoops.
Frankincense is an incense, and it's a symbol of deity, and gold is
Gold.
gold.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
So what the hell's the purpose of this?
I have
Death,
no idea.
gold,
And
and deity. Lame.
I don't know. That's. I'm just saying, if somebody rolled up with those three things, I'd be like, "Thanks for the gold, but do you have gifts receipts for the other two?"
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
Yeah, come on. Up your presence. Come on. This is Jesus here.
Really? I know.
Son of God. You couldn't do anything better than myrrh?
Myrrh, really? You can't. It's not even like a nice oil to like put on food.
Yeah.
You know, if you bring me like a nice oil, like a finishing oil.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
let's move on.
Yeah, Mike's getting all hoity-toity over there with his finishing oils. He's going to mention his cheese next.
I got cheese out right over there behind the. They can't see it, but behind the camera, I got cheese.
Okay. All right. We need you to shut up about the cheese, and we need you to
You're
get
just
to
coming for me.
Sorry, we need to get you to your segment where you let the people know what they should keep an eye out for, not your cheese. They need to know what to look for this upcoming weekend with new movies, TV, and video games.
That's
not
right.
new cheese.
That's right, not the cheese.
Right. So it's time for Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right. So other than cheese, what should people keep
I'm
an eye out
going to make
for?
a whole cheese segment.
Dear God.
But before then, this week in entertainment, first up in video games, a new month equals new free games for PlayStation Plus subscribers. So make sure you go check those out. I think Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is one of them. That is a fantastic franchise. Love the Need for Speed games back in the day. So make sure you go check that out on PlayStation Plus. But in terms of new content in television, all of the shows are returning from their holiday hiatus. So if you're following any series like Abbott Elementary, Hell's Kitchen, so on and so forth, those are all returning to television. But there's a few new shows to check out. First up is Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action, a new documentary limited series coming to Netflix that shows the behind-the-scenes scandals from both on and off camera. The trailer looks fantastic. I didn't really ever watch Jerry Springer outside of a random when I would stay home from school kind of situation.
Oh, yeah. It was like Jerry Springer, Maury Price
yep.
is Right.
Yep. That's the triple crown.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you're like us and you're from that time, that generation, go check out Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action. But if that's a little too scandalous for you, make sure to check out a new Western drama limited series, American Primeval, also premiering on Netflix this week. This 6-episode series follows an ensemble cast of characters from different communities and religions in the 1850s American West as they struggle to survive both the harsh conditions and each other on the frontier. So go check that out. Sounds pretty dramatic and fun. That's American Primeval coming to Netflix. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment. Quick update for you on some streaming properties. Mike, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so earlier this year we talked about a potential new streaming service called Venue Sports coming from a combination of Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Fox. They were going to team up to make Venue Sports. However, some people were not fans of this because they argued it would create a monopoly in the sports streaming landscape. The biggest opponent of this deal was Fubo TV. Fubo has a focus on sports with their streaming service. So Fubo brought antitrust lawsuits against this conglomerate. to try and put a halt to venue sports. It was supposed to debut this year, or rather in fall of 2024. That obviously did not happen with the antitrust going on. But there's been an update, and it turns out that the best way to beat an antitrust lawsuit is to become more of a monopoly. David was bought out by Goliath. Disney bought Fubo TV in the middle of their antitrust lawsuit.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports.
Yeah. They played to win the game.
They play to win the game.
And that is a way to win the game, apparently legally, in the United States of America.
I saw the headline, and I'm like, I didn't realize that was possible. That, like, two people, like, one company is like, hey, you can't do that. You're a monopoly. And the other guy's like, oh, yeah? I just bought you. Like,
yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
This is literally like a Bruce Wayne tactic.
But, like, if you're that judge, you're sitting there going, wait, what? Right?
Well, there's no judge at that point. I'm sure when Disney officially acquires it, they throw the lawsuit out.
I mean, yes, that's what happened, but like...
Yeah. So the judge can't do anything about it. There's no lawsuit. Ta-da!
It's just wild to me that the way that they solved being accused of antitrust practices, they just become bigger.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
It's absurd, right?
It is.
Like, the headline, like, to me, I saw that, and I was like, that is just, like, laughably ridiculous.
It's Bruce Wayne. It literally is Bruce Wayne buying whatever he wanted to stop the problem.
Disney has FU money.
Yeah.
They're like, we want more superheroes. We'll just buy all of Fox. They now own 2 of the big 4 basic networks.
Yep.
That in and of itself is insane. Then they're like, we want to do sports. We'll just buy the other sports competition. They wanted more streaming. They just bought Hulu. Like, they just... I mean, this is nothing new for them, though. This is... The House of Mouse is not to be trifled with.
Yep, and there you go. That's why.
Yeah. So, let's get to the nitty-gritty details. The acquisition will officially merge Hulu plus Live TV and Fubo TV into a new company, with Disney maintaining 70% ownership and Fubo maintaining 30%. However...
Oh, good for you!
But wait, this is where it gets a little funky, because this is only Hulu plus Live TV. It's not the traditional Hulu streaming service.
So, yeah, you have to have the live service.
So, I think, like, I didn't know those were 2 separate things. I thought it was just, like, another tier you could get. But I guess it's 2 separate things.
I guess it is, yeah.
So, yeah, so if you have a regular Hulu subscription, I guess no changes. If you have Hulu plus Live TV, it's now going to be under a new company that includes Fubo. This new entity will operate under Fubo, which I also don't understand because Disney owns it. But both streaming services will also continue to stream as separate entities.
For now.
For now. I guess for now. I mean, eventually Disney might shutter one of them.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're going to blast Fubo into oblivion.
That's basically what's going to happen.
That's what happens when you file an antitrust lawsuit against us.
You think I'm a monopoly? I'll show you a monopoly. Ha-ha.
I buy your stuff.
Just crush them under boot and heel.
I buy your stuff. I got it.
Gosh, Mickey, that's pretty monopolistic of you.
You shut up over there.
It's just absolutely wild. But amidst all this, Fubo plans to create a new streaming service dedicated to...
Fuck yourself.
Which you can get away with that. That's not.
That's the name of the app.
Fubuck yourself.
Fubuck yourself. Check out Fubuck.
Maybe that's the name of the new Fubo streaming service they're planning. Dedicated specifically to sports, and it will leverage Disney's contracts and networks to get that content. So I'm like wildly confused right now. So like Disney bought Fubo, and they're going to merge Hulu plus Live TV and Fubo, and this will operate as a new entity under Fubo, but there will still be Hulu plus Live TV and Fubo separately. But Fubo is also making a new streaming service specifically for sports. So is that 3 new streaming services.
What's there not to understand? Everything's right. You're going to pay 3 times.
That's honestly, that's what's happening right now. Disney wants you to quadruple dip.
Oh, yeah, more money for Mickey.
Pay and don't ask questions. That's right.
Buy subscriptions. Don't ask questions.
You can make the checkout to Master Mouse. No questions.
Fool buck yourself.
Yeah, so just absolutely
Yeah, this is
wild.
all legit.
Meanwhile, Disney, WB, and Fox is going to push forward with Venue Sports. So I lost track, but I think that's like 4 new streaming services.
Yeah, it's too many.
Yeah.
Venue. Should be Venue.
I assume it's Venue, but it's spelled like Venu.
Yeah.
Like VENU, Venu. I'm going to call it Venu.
Venue.
Maybe it is Venu, and I'm just stupid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Venue is usually spelled with an E at the end, right?
It's what is it? Ghostbusters 2, what was it? Vigo. No, this is Venu.
Venu.
This is not Vigo, it's Venu.
It's a bad name. And this is I mean, it's a good deal for Disney, but it's a bad deal for consumers. It's wildly confusing. Maybe it's just because all the news is coming out. It hasn't been hashed out yet. Maybe it'll become simpler in the weeks and months as we get closer.
Well, they're probably
going
to shut down Fubo.
I imagine at some point, but they're keeping on Fubo leadership. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. They might do some kind of weird roll-off in like a year from now. They're like, oh, here's your parachute package. Go, live on the Cayman Islands, and we'll just shutter your platform.
Yeah.
But,
don't expect Fubo to stay long.
But this is a lot of pressure on any competitors who want to offer sports content, because between Disney, WB, Fox, and Fubo now had a big presence in like international sports like soccer. This collection of companies is just going to own sports broadcasting.
Yep, and it's all owned by Disney.
Know it, yeah. So I don't know.
It is ridiculous that
it's crazy.
Disney was just like, screw it, I'll just buy you guys out.
Is that
problem solved?
Is that not you want to talk about? You always try to relate things to Succession. Is this not like Succession type stuff?
Yeah, this would be a Logan Roy move. Yeah.
They're like, antitrust lawsuit. What's that? I'll just buy the plaintiff. Like, okay, Ta-da, problem solved.
Yeah, and apparently it's legal. So congratulations, you did it.
Just absolutely flabbergasted at the headline. But there it is. So new streaming services, left, right, and center. I don't know how.
Yeah, and that's actual news.
How are you going to be? How do you watch sports if you go streaming? Like, how many services do you have to get?
Yeah,
like
we're gonna find out.
You have YouTube TV.
Yeah.
How do you watch sports? Do they have local?
Yeah, they got the local channels. Yeah, but if you want something specific, I think you're going to be paying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of wacky stories, let's get to some other wacky stories that are true in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird, wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing these stories for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
All right. Well, first, I'm going to test your knowledge here because I have an update here.
Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, boy.
Do you remember the case of George Owens?
No, not at all.
No,
Damn.
that's a shame because he was one of your favorite news stories this past year.
George Owens. Maybe I just don't remember the name, but I remember the story.
Yeah, I think you don't remember the name, but
that happens pretty frequently.
Yeah, you're not good with names. It's fine.
No,
I'm not good with names either.
No, I'm terrible.
Yeah. Well, here you go. This is why you should remember him, because this dude from Alabama, he was the dude. He was the dude that got naked and decided to jump into a Bass Pro Shops aquarium.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And there it is.
And you have the picture. Yeah,
there is the art.
I remember this because I commented at the time that it's like a weird, like Renaissance art picture where there's just like this naked body sprawled, and it's like this like sweeping, like vision. Yeah.
Yep. If you got the video feed, there is the iconic image from the odd news story.
He's like weirdly like centered in this shot and the big aquarium behind him.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is George Owens. Yep. This is the dude. So there's the artwork right there, preserved for odd news history.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yes.
Spectacular.
So the update, he had his day in court to explain.
Okay. So finally an explanation.
So for those that didn't catch the original odd news story, I'll do the brief rundown here. He crashed his Chevy pickup truck with his wife and his 6-year-old inside of it, purposely into a light pole outside of the Bass Pro Shops retailer. Then he stripped naked, ran into the store, yelled obscenities, and then finished it off by jumping into the aquarium from the staircase on the side. So that was his full list. Yep. There you go.
Actual audio.
Yeah, he was.
I forgot that his wife and kid was with him.
Yep.
That's so weird. It's
Yeah.
like, what's Daddy doing? Oh, he's just having a moment.
Oh, it's a hell of a moment.
It's a hell of a moment.
He then tumbled out of the aquarium, which is where that iconic image is from.
Yep.
Because, he was...
That's a pretty big drop, though, isn't it? I think we talked about this the first time. Like, if you bring the picture up, it's like...
Yeah, it's a big aquarium.
Yeah.
He must have been able to climb off the top and fall on those, like, little rocks on the back, and then, like...
I feel like that's just as bad, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying, if I did that, I'm dying.
It really is like
that's like a 12-foot drop.
It really is like some sort of Renaissance thing, because
it is. He's like weirdly centered, and he's like splayed out, like
and he's got like the arm on his head, like
yeah.
It's this man's intrusive thoughts. What does humanity mean?
Right, exactly.
What does life mean?
What really separates man from fish?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's like some sort of, that's supposed to be a thought-provoking image.
Yes, absolutely. It should be in a museum.
Yep. Also, by the way, more stuff happened, because after he tumbled out of the aquarium, he then decided to fight with officers.
Naturally.
One of whom he was able to kick right in the nuts.
Oh.
I've got balls of steel.
That's the quote, the phrase kicked in the testicles is actually noted in the police report.
I've got balls of steel.
I mean, that's an accurate description, I guess.
So... it really must have been painful. Like, that cop was like, put that in the police report. Ow! Damn it!
I've got balls of steel.
So he was just racking up charges then. What was his final tally? Because you got assaulting an officer, you got, like, what? Like, public indecency, breaking and entering. Like, I don't know. Like, what were all the...
Yeah. So, first off, he caused $3,500 in damages to the light pole.
Okay.
Also, at some point, he must have. I guess he did not go quiet into the good night, because he must have damaged the police car as well. Because in the police report, it also noted that there was $5,000 in damage to the police car.
Whoa!
So he did not go quietly into the night.
He was kicking and screaming the whole way.
Yeah.
So just to start, $8,500 of damages.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Right.
And I'm assuming there's some kind of like public indecency or like some kind of I don't know, some kind of like disturbing the peace or some kind of charge like that.
So yeah, we'll get into that in just a minute. The wife was questioned by police.
Okay.
And she said that he was having a mental episode.
Yes.
So
very clearly so.
That's, I guess, that's one way to look at it.
That's very sad.
Owens himself was then asked why he did the things that he did, and he gave different answers.
His wife was like, he's suffering from mental health issues. And what did he say?
Yeah.
Probably said something crazy like, I'm God.
So he gave 3 different answers.
Okay.
The first, he said, quote, religious reasons.
I was joking when I said
I would like to know what religion is take off clothes and go to town.
Take your damn clothes off.
I don't know why in the odd news they're like at least 50% of the time the first reaction that these perpetrators have is like, God told me to do it.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yeah.
It's whatever religion. Who's that, Lady Gaga?
That was Lady Gaga.
Lady
maybe
Gaga.
maybe it's Lady Gaga's religion. I don't know.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yeah.
Gagaism.
The Gaga. He had a little bit of the Gaga in him.
A little bit of the Gaga.
Yeah, maybe.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
So that didn't work. Then he said, I'm on a whole bunch of drugs that I found in my garage.
What? I found?
So I took the drugs, but I have no idea why they're there. So is that really my fault?
If I didn't know what I was taking, I couldn't possibly be responsible for it.
Oh, good for you.
But also I like the use of the word found. It conjures an image of like he goes out in his garage one day, he's doing some garage stuff, and he's like, huh, what is this?
Drugs?
Meth? Oh, I better take it. Like what?
I need to test to make sure that this doesn't go out.
Yeah, is this sugar or drugs? Oh, that's definitely drugs. Oh, I better take it all.
The probability on one four-wheel machine is 1.5 million to 1. On 3 machines in a row, it's in the billions. It cannot happen. Would not happen. You Momo, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, what are the odds of you just going in your garage right now and just finding random drugs?
Just finding drugs. But finding drugs and then just taking what, all of them?
Yes, I'm trying to protect the neighborhood.
Because he said a whole bunch of drugs.
Yes. I'm taking one for the community.
Right.
He's
cleaning up the streets, okay?
Yes, I'm trying to help.
He's actually a hero when you
Yes.
think about it. But don't think about it too hard.
Yes. And then his third reason, not really a reason, but he says, if I told you guys, you would put me in the loony house, so I cannot comment more.
Oh, because
so now at this point, this is the thing that's going to get you in the loony bin.
Oh yeah. No, not the crashing, the public streaking, the jumping into a store's aquarium, claiming it was for religious reasons, and that you mysteriously found and took a whole bunch of drugs. Whatever that last thing was, that's what's going to put him in the loony bin.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you on that one.
So all the other things, that's just normal, everyday behavior.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Now I see where the bar is set.
Yes. All right. So here is the epilogue here. This is the update here. So
Okay.
he had to go into court. And it turns out that he is a veteran.
Okay.
So he is going to enroll in a drug treatment facility sponsored by Veterans Treatment Court.
Okay.
Is that like a separate court? Did the veterans get like a different
Veterans
I don't know.
Court? I don't know.
I don't know if it's an actual court. It just, or maybe just the name of the group, Veterans Treatment Court. I don't know. So this is a separate drug treatment facility. If he graduates from this program, the charges that were filed against him will be thrown out. The charges that are levied against him are Class A misdemeanors which are public lewdness, resisting arrest, and criminal mischief.
But not assaulting a police officer for kicking him in the nuts?
Hey, yeah, that should be listed there. I don't know. I guess they feel bad for him.
Oh, wait, what was all about all the damages, though? Was that in there?
I guess he must have paid for that outright. I don't know. That's not listed as to what happened with that.
Okay.
But that is his update. He's going to go into this Veterans Treatment Court drug treatment facility, and if he graduates, everything will be wiped from the record.
So to answer your question about Veterans Court.
Oh, yes. Is this a real
It is a real thing. Court? Montgomery County in Pennsylvania has one.
So is it like a separate?
So it is. It's so according to the Montgomery County website, it was established to more effectively address the needs of veterans cycling through the court and prison system. And it's a collaboration between the Public Defender's Office, the DA's Office, the Court of Common Pleas, Montco Correctional Facility, Adult.
Well, that's for the one here. So.
Yeah, so like basically all of these like different legal and court bodies are coming together like, hey, veterans need like a special thing. But you can only, at least in Montgomery County, you're only eligible if you're a veteran who suffers from, and I guess you have to be diagnosed with traumatic brain injury, PTSD, military sexual trauma, or psychological and or substance abuse problems requiring treatment.
Well, then there you go. That's why. He's
through,
filing under the drugs that he found in the garage.
I don't know. Were the drugs real, or is he just saying that to get to Veterans Court?
I don't know. The man was naked and he jumped into an aquarium.
How did he get that far with his wife and kid, though?
It all hit him at once. Maybe
it all hit.
It was delayed. Maybe it was delayed.
He's like, oh, we're gonna go to Friendly's, kids. We're gonna get a hamburger. And then all of a sudden he's like, whoa!
It's about to get all stupid up in here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like at what point did the wife and kid like, I guess we're not getting McDonald's today.
Yeah, sorry. Ice cream is not happening, Billy.
No,
Billy.
Damn. We got ice cream at home. We got bigger problems.
Yeah, Billy, you need to.
Daddy's swimming with the fish.
Yeah, stay in the back seat.
Yeah,
you're gonna be a while.
That is sad though. If all that turns out to be true. I mean, obviously we don't know the guy.
Well, nevertheless, there's
had like 4 different excuses. So.
Nevertheless, there is a path for him to get the record clean on this. So he's got to go through the special drug treatment program by this special veterans court.
Right.
And if he does, it'll all be stricken from the record.
This is like a weirdly hopeful odd news.
Yeah.
That's a bizarre feeling. Usually we get to the odd news, it's like everybody's stupid, everybody's dumb, and
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still stupid and dumb. I mean, he literally went butt ass naked into a freaking Bass Pro Shop and jumped into the aquarium. He's still
the
stupid.
Giant aquarium, yeah.
Yes. Although
with his wife and kid in tow.
I will say though, he did give us this wonderful piece of art here.
That is true art right there.
That should be hung in the Louvre.
If you're not on the video feed, you got to check it out. I mean, it is weirdly Renaissance like. Have you ever been to that subreddit like Accidental Renaissance?
It is.
It's Accidental Renaissance.
This is Alabama Renaissance.
It's showing the smallness and fragility of man juxtaposed with the overwhelming and bottomless power of the water.
Yes.
And also Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's missing.
I know.
It needs to have the Bass Pro Shops logo somewhere in the back. That's the only thing that's missing. Right? So, yeah, there you go. That man could potentially get off with no charges on his record.
I think good for him for, finding the help that he needs and potentially, hope he can right the ship.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the last time we talk about him. Hopefully he gets his act together and he comes out of this and he does come through drug free and the slate's clean.
This is like literally maybe like 1 in 10 stories that have ended hopefully in the odd news out of like 2,000. We know it's not a good track record. It's like literally like 2% of stories.
Well, there you go.
Usually it's like the Swiss cheese pervert or like somebody marrying a Ferris wheel, like really like depraved BS. But this is like, hey, he's getting treatment. He's going through the process. I'm like, hey, good job. I applaud him. He had a moment.
A very bad moment.
A very bad, very big
extreme moment.
But but he's on the path.
Very nasty moment, if you will.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
But he's on the path now, so we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see if he holds
No
through.
more updates from, what was his name? I already forgot. Damn it.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Wait, George Owens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job, Mike.
I remembered a name from 5 minutes ago.
Good job, Mike.
Literally, people introduce themselves. I'm like, I've immediately forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
Same thing.
So bad.
Yep, I
Anyway.
But yeah, hopefully we don't hear his name pop up anymore, George Owens. Hopefully that's the last time we talk about him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And don't go diving into another aquarium, young man.
No more.
No mas.
No mas.
And stop kicking people in the balls.
Yeah, totally unnecessary.
And stop finding drugs in your garage.
Who put the drugs there? That's the question. That's the question, though. He found the drugs, but how'd they get there?
Yeah, that's the murder mystery.
I found them. It makes it sound like he's just like,
wait a minute.
He's like cleaning up his tools. All of a sudden, oh my God.
What's this white powder over here in the corner?
He's just like hardcore drugs. He's like,
I told my wife to not leave the flour.
Sweeping up the garage. All of a sudden, oh my God, heroin. Like, how do you... Like,
that's actually the response. Oh my God, heroin.
Yeah. That's when he says, I found drugs. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he like stumbled across some drugs.
That is the normal reaction. Oh my God.
Oh my
heroin.
God, heroin. Better take some.
Better test.
Make sure just see what it actually is.
Yes. We don't want that getting out in the neighborhood, Billy. So
a true hero.
Yes. Papa's got to take one for the team.
And boy, did he.
Yes. So hopefully that is the last we hear of George Owens. And hopefully he gets his act together and all's good.
Yeah.
All right. But for us, we got to get our act together because this is it. We got to start wrapping up this first episode of 2025. It is officially in the books. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching our little show. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media channels and everything there. But the most important thing is that you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, Crispy Noodle Podcast. Hit that subscribe button so that you get the latest episodes of the podcast sent directly to your YouTube account. And you can watch it wherever you watch YouTube, on your phone, on TV. You can watch us on TV if you like.
True.
If you want to watch us at your local Bass Pro Shop, you can put us on there and have some fun.
That'd be an odd choice, but you could do that with all the different ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually, you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, where you can share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories. I am at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. I didn't mention the second way to get to the podcast.
Oh, you only mentioned one way?
Yes. Second main way is on Spotify. Mikey jumped the gun. It's all right. It's a new year.
Sorry.
It's a new year.
Hey, we did one virtual podcast, and already the wheels are coming off in 2025.
It's all right. It's the end of the show. We're good. We made it this far.
It's a long show.
Everything's good. So the second main way is on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can also put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And if you use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, all those people over there, you can take us on the go with you.
Why?
And you can enjoy the Crispy Noodle Podcast on your commute. All right, we've got to wrap this up. I'm causing too many enemies between Apple and people that love New Year's.
Those Apple people.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Man over there.
To all my fellow Apple fans out there, I'm only saying goodbye to you. No,
we got to go. That'll do it. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.